Good morning and welcome to Blue Rose Podcast. Let's chat today about opportunity because you never know when opportunity is going to knock, but you got to be ready to answer the door. Sometimes when it knocks, it can be really scary and you think, oh, maybe it'll come back. She doesn't knock more than once for whatever item it is. And if you don't jump on it, she'll move on. A prime example, I was talking at lunch yesterday with somebody. They asked me how I got the job I have. I have two. I have a coaching job. I have coaching where I coach women to build confidence and step into their best life ever, to give them the confidence, to help them find a confidence to be who they want to be, who they know they are, but they're too afraid to go there. I help move past that fear. And in my other job, I started an assisted living association 20 some years ago where I was actually helped build assisted living in Arizona. So I'm sitting around the table and I'm telling the story of this guy. And I said, I'm sitting around a table and there's one billionaire, four millionaires, and myself. And they're talking about starting this association. I have led nothing. I haven't even led a dog at that time. I mean, I had a pet, but she didn't listen to me. And so they're sitting there and they're saying, well, who can we get as the executive director? And I'm just sitting there looking around, listening to them. And one of them looks over at me and says, you'd be a good executive director. And I'm looking at him thinking, oh, I don't know. And she's like, what do you make now? And I said, I make 38,000. And I was so proud of that. I make 38,000 with my Walgreens sunglasses on and my JCPenney outlet suit on. I was so proud. And she looked at me and said, so for 40,000, you'd think that was great. I'm like, hell yeah. So she said, you'll take the job. Absolutely. I knew nothing about running a not-for-profit. I barely knew what a not-for-profit was other than muscular dystrophy, because back then Jerry Lewis used to do his telethons. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out because his telethons back then were epic. But I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I can do it. I had to buy every book I could. I can remember 2 years into the job, I got a letter from my IRS saying we owed back taxes. And I'm like, we owe back taxes? Somebody's got to be paying our taxes. And that's another long story about how somebody was supposed to be paying our taxes, but they decided to keep the money. So I had to hurry up and find an accountant. I didn't know any of that stuff, but I believed enough in myself and I had enough confidence that I thought, I can do this. And that's where confidence comes from. It's thinking, you know what? I can do this because everything is overcomable. You can figure out anything. I mean, if you saw my bookcase and all that, I have a million books. I can always buy a book and read it and figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. But you got to have the confidence and the faith that when opportunity knocks, you open the door. When I was telling the guy the story yesterday, I could see the look on his face of like, are you kidding me? They just hired you like that? I could just see the look and he's thinking in his head because he just met me for the first time. So I had to look at him and smile and say, well, 25 years later, we're the state's largest not-for-profit for assisted living. We've rewritten the rules a few times and I built some little street cred with them. But I could see the look on his face of, I can't believe that. Opportunity shows up all the time. Now, sometimes you have to let the opportunity go. I've had opportunities where I've let go because it just wasn't good timing for me. It wasn't the right opportunity. I kind of told the universe, send it on to the next person. It's not for me. But I looked at every opportunity and I still do. When I got into coaching, it wasn't something I was seeking because I loved my job, but I would have women start calling me up and saying, Karen, we understand your story of how you got there. You had a lot of abuse in your background. You've had a lot of negative outcomes. I was homeless for a point, but I had a lot of successes as well. So it's kind of like a roller coaster. They're like, but how for every time you got kicked down, did you get back up? And it was self-belief. I believed I was born for greatness. My parents back when they were alive here looked at me sometimes and thought, where'd you get this from? So I can't tell you, but I believe it. And if you don't believe it, then you can then go after your blue rose. A blue rose, as I talk about, is new beginnings. It's enchantment. It's enlightenment. Everybody has a blue rose in here. Everybody has a reason and a purpose and a calling. But when that opportunity comes, it scares them because sometimes opportunity knocks quietly, unexpectedly. For me, that was unexpected. I was just at the meeting because the person who invited me didn't want to go alone. She's like, well, go to the meeting, then we'll go have lunch afterwards. I'm in on lunch. So I'm looking at my watch thinking, how much longer till we get to lunch? So, I mean, I walk out with a job and she looks at me and she says, I know you can do this. She says, I could tell because she knew me. I could tell by the look on your face that you're scared to death. You can do this. Always have a supporter in your corner. Always have that one person. For me, it's always been my husband. Always have that one person, or even that one friend in your spouse, somebody that if you came home and said, you know what, I think I'm going to build a spacecraft and go to Mars, that they look at you and they say, well, there could be some challenges, but if anybody could do it, it's you. Have those people around you. And if you don't have that, go look for somebody. And if you can't find anybody, DM me and I will be your person, because I don't want women going through life waking up at 80 or 90 filled with regret. I want you to be the most confident self you could be. I want you to go after your goals knowing you can accomplish it. And I want you to open the door on every opportunity that knocks. I really hope this helped you. I really hope if you have an opportunity, and for some of you, I feel like you're mauling an opportunity, and that's probably why you clicked on this video, go after it. I've taken opportunities when they've knocked and I've done it for a while and been like, oh, nope, this isn't for me. And that's okay. You know, I'll start something, maybe even for a day or two, and think, no, I don't have time for this. This isn't for me. I'm going to pass it on to the next person. Release it. Let the next person take it, because somebody else, it's the opportunity for them. But that's why when you have an opportunity that knocks on your door, take it. Okay? Believe in yourself. Know how great you are. Know how amazing you are. If you're on this planet, you're an amazing person. I hope this helped you guys. Find your blue rose. Find that opportunity that lights you up and makes you jump out of bed every day. Have a great day, you guys. I'll talk to you.